Hi friends, today we are going to learn how to model with arrays. We are on the Unlock the Problem for lesson 6.6. The question that we're going to answer today is how can we use arrays to solve division problems? So the two things that you're going to need for this lesson are the investigate on lesson 6.6. So this is going to be on page 333. And you're also going to need to go to your Google Classroom and open up the link that says virtual tiles. And that looks like this. So before you watch the rest of the lesson, I want you to make sure you have those two things. So pause the video until you have those ready to go. All right, so now you have everything that you need to solve these questions today. We're going to do some investigation. So we are going to use 30 tiles, and we're going to make an array to find out how many rows of 5 are in 30. So we need to count out 30 tiles, and while we do it, we're going to make rows of 5. So do this along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want a row of 5 that is spaced out. And now we need to get to 30. So we're going to keep on following this pattern until we use up 30 tiles. So you can do this while I'm doing it at the same time. So that's 5, 10 tiles. 15, 20, 25, 'Oops, we don't want our tiles connecting. All right, so your array should look like this. You should have 30 tiles split up into rows of 5. If you're not quite here yet, pause the video and finish up your array. All right, now we're going to look at the questions in the book. So it asks us, how many rows of 5 did you make? Well, let's look. We made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of 5. So I'm going to write the answers on here because I cannot write on the book page digitally. So we made 6 rows. You are going to fill in the blanks on your workbook page. Now, if you look under where it says draw conclusions, we have 3 questions to answer. And these 3 questions just want you to explain what you did. So number 1 says, explain how you use the tiles to find the number of rows of 5 and 30. So what we did, that you're going to write this down, is that we placed 30 tiles into rows of 5. Then we counted how many rows we made, and there were 6 rows. So go ahead and take a second to write that down. Explain how you use the tiles to find how many rows of 5 there were going to be. All right, moving on to question 2. Question 2 says, what multiplication equation could you write for the array? So we know that when we write multiplication sentences, it's going to tell us the number of rows times the number of columns equals the total number. So we counted that there are 6 rows and that we have 5 tiles in each, which is going to give us 30. I don't know what it's doing here. It's going to give us 30. Well, you know that 6 times 5 is going to give us 30 tiles, right? I can write the answer down here. All right, so you are going to write that equation for number 2 and explain why that works. I put the number 6 first because that's how many rows there are. And we put the number 5 second because that's how many were in each row. And the number 30 represents how many tiles we had all together. Now, last question says, tell how you could use an array to find how many rows of 6 are in 30. So explain how you could figure out if there were rows of 6, how many rows would you have to make 30? So if I was going to explain, I would say that I would make rows of 6 with my tiles until all 30 tiles were used. Then I would know that there are 5 rows with 6 in each. It's the same thing as this multiplication equation, just 5 and 6 would be flip-flopped. So take a second to go ahead and write that down. Now we are going to flip the page and we're going to look at this make connections slide or make connections page. So here it says you can write a division equation to show how many rows of 5 are in 30. Show the array you made in the investigate by completing the drawing below. So now in your book, it wants you to draw this array that we have here, okay? So what you're going to do in your book is you're going to finish drawing this. So we need 6 rows with 5 in each. So I'll give you a second to finish up that drawing. All right, and now it has the multiplication sentence down here. So it says 30 divided by 5 equals what? Why is 30 the dividend? Yep, 30 is the dividend because that is the number of tiles that is going to be divided or separated into equal groups. What represents the quotient in this array? Yep, the number of rows represents the quotient. So that is our answer. So there are blank rows of 5 tiles in 30. Well, we know that there are 6 rows of 5 tiles in 30. So 30 divided into rows of 5 is going to give us the answer 6.